Hi, I'm Chad Lavimoniere. I'm a product designer on the UX Papercuts team here at GitLab, and I'm going to show you in this video a little bit of design that I've done recently for adding context to messages that you send to Duo Chat. So here in the prototype, I've got a couple of screenshots of some existing ways that we let users include issues, merge requests, and epics today in content that they're creating in the UI. So if you're writing a comment or the description of an issue or a merge request or a task or an epic, you can use the hashtag character to start searching and auto-completing among issues. You can do the same thing with an exclamation point for merge requests, and you can use an ampersand for epics. So, the purpose of this design is to basically take these conventions that we already have for adding content to messages that you're creating and extend it to context in Duo Chat messages. Today, users use a slash command. Slash include is what it currently is. It's still kind of in development. And the way it works is that you slash include, and then you hit enter, and then you select a file or an issue or whatever. And then if you want to add more things, you add them. And then you've added these things, and then you can write whatever your question is. So this design is kind of taking conventions that we already have and using them in a way that makes it a little bit easier to compose those messages in Duo Chat. So here's a basic example of using it to explain a merge request. So if I'm in the Duo Chat, I can say, can you explain? And then when I type an exclamation point, it brings up this autocomplete of different merge requests. So let's say it's this first one I want. So I send that message, and then that merge request is going to show up in the sources, and Duo will say whatever it is that it says about it. I could also do this for an issue or an epic. So let's say I want to summarize an issue number. So let me switch over to using the keyboard as well to show you. So maybe it's this one that I want, and then if I hit enter, Duo will explain it. And that issue will be considered a source that was added there. Same thing, same pattern with an epic, right? So summarize, ampersand, and then it starts searching. I could type at this point. I don't have it modeled in this Figma prototype, but I could type at this point to start searching among epics the same way that it works if you're editing Markdown in GitLab today. But let's say this was the one that I want. I hit enter and I send it, and it explains what's going on with that. One pattern that we don't have today that we would need for this, and I've got kind of a proposed pattern for this, is a file. So if I want Duo to consider a file in the context of something I'm writing, I might say, what is the purpose of, and then start a new word with a plus symbol. And that would bring up a file search. If I wanted to just use the plus symbol, I could hit escape, which should be true for any of these operators. You hit escape and it stops searching, and you could just use that literal character. In this case, if I send this, Duo is going to say, I don't know what you're talking about, but I could type more after that and then send a message. But if I do want to search for a file, then I can add the file into my message, and I can send that to Duo, and Duo will explain. One thing that's nice about these two is that because you're using a delimiter to add in a reference to something, to a data object, you should be able to do this more than once in a single message. I don't have it modeled out in this design because I actually couldn't find any great examples of real-world uses for this, but there's nothing that should stop a user from doing exactly what they could do in an issue description or a merge request description or a comment, where they could reference multiple issues, multiple MRs, issues and MRs, issues, MRs, and files, all in one message that's sent to Duo. And that would add those references as context while also putting them kind of with the query that's about them. And something I also want to mention about this is that another reason that I've taken this tack and this design is that slash commands in Duo Chat, there are a bunch of them. There's clear, there's reset. Those are commands that are about the chat. There's also summarize or explain, I think, or troubleshoot. Those are commands that are issued directly to Duo. Those are a bit different than what's happening when you're adding context, because when you're adding context, you're adding stuff to the message that you're sending. So you're not taking an operation on the chat necessarily, and you're not necessarily issuing a directive to the agent to do something for you. You're adding content yourself. So I think it makes a little bit more sense for this to be a situation where you kind of add that content to the message as you're sending it, as opposed to it being like a separate operation you have to take in the chat, and then you can ask your question about the things that you added as context. So that's a really quick summary of this design. Just kind of making this video to share it with folks in an async way to gather feedback on it. So let me know what you think. Thanks.